Et salut tout le monde, bienvenue sur la chaîne. Aujourd'hui on se retrouve pour un deuxième épisode de Greedfall en compagnie de Lady De Sardet que voici actuellement à l'écran, accompagné par son fidèle Kurt, garde du corps et épéiste émérite. Allez, on va continuer, on va jeter un petit coup d'œil au niveau des quêtes. Alors, la chasse aux hérétiques, trouver le passeur. Très bien, on y va. Ok, il est juste ici.
Lively there, lads and lasses! I promised the merchants and their prince we'd be off before the tide. You, man, carry that properly. That porcelain is worth more than your life. There are some children we'd been best to refuse.
Captain Vasco.
And you are?
I'm De Sardet, the prince's niece. All is in order. We will soon be embarking on your boat.
It's a ship, not a boat.
Apologies.
Apologies for my asking, but the young governor isn't with you.
He didn't come home this morning. I need to find him before departure.
I hope nothing's happened to him or he hasn't changed his mind. The tide does not wait.
Perhaps he simply celebrated his imminent departure with a little too much enthusiasm. Is everything ready?
We're short a crew member. The cabin boy is missing. But have no fear, we will leave without him if he does not present himself before the tide.
Is he an important member of the crew?
We don't need him for sailing or navigation. He's only a cabin boy.
He must have simply had a bit too much to drink in celebrating his departure. Like another I know.
I doubt that. Jonas was never one to fancy drink. And it's been 2 days since last he was seen. No, I fear something bad has happened to him. Might I ask you, if you hear anything, could you report it to me? I would like to set sail with a clear mind.
Alors, on va l'interroger sur les hérétiques.
Have you seen anyone wandering about? Suspicious looking. Maybe clandestine passengers.
Take a look around. There are far too many comings and goings to spot possible stowaways. As long as they don't try and get on my ship, I pay no attention to them. That said, we did catch ourselves a smuggler just a while ago.
A smuggler? Maybe he could be of some use. Where could I find him?
In the port jails, not far from the warehouses. Might I ask you, why the sudden interest in smugglers and the odd stowaway?
On le connaît pas, donc je vais éviter d'en dire trop.
Nothing to bother yourself about. I'm just curious.
You wouldn't, by the sheerest of coincidences, be on the trail of a couple of heretics, Your Excellency? The same a couple of the ambassadors of Ptolemy's men have been looking for nigh on 2 days.
And so you know about that?
Of course. The Cardinal's henchmen are hard to miss, even in a crowd. And they were making quite a fuss, hoping we would cave in and help them in their hunt. Feel free to carry out your own investigation.
Il a beaucoup de charisme, ce personnage-là, le capitaine. J'aime bien.
Just like the warehouses, are property of the Nords. No one else may enter.
Ah, on va lui parler de l'absence de Constantin.
You haven't heard anything about my cousin by chance, have you? To be honest, we were hoping to find him here.
Did you say he was intending on celebrating his departure? My men spoke of a rather animated party that went down at the Coin Tavern, but I haven't heard anything else.
That isn't the safest place in the city. I hope nothing has happened to him.
Let's go and find him. Thank you, Captain.
Happy to be of some help.
Ok, très bien.
Be back soon, Captain.
We need to have a word with that people smuggler the sailor mentioned.
He's a captain, Kurt, like yourself. And in order to interrogate the smuggler, we'll need to find a way into his jail.
Bien, bien, bien. Alors, disparition chez les nôtes, les marchandises du denier. Je vais continuer sur ma lancée avec la chasse aux hérétiques. Hein. Je pense que c'est le mieux. Zone contrôlée par d'autres factions. Ok. Entrepôt des notes. Il me semble... Ouais. Qu'on est tout proche de cette quête-là. Donc on va peut-être la faire. Il faut que je retourne voir le capitaine? Sérieux? Parlez à Vasco.
Madam, you still haven't found your cousin. As you well know, we cannot leave without him.
Have no fear. I will bring him back in time to make our scheduled departure. Is everything ready?
I'm still without news of my cabin boy, but we will have to do without.
À propos du mousse. Quand l'avez-vous vu pour la dernière fois?
When did you see your cabin boy for the last time?
It's been 2 days since I've had any news at all. It wasn't out of the ordinary until this morning. My men have free shore leave when we're at dock. But the day of departure, every able-bodied sailor must be present on the ship.
A-t-il des connaissances à Sérène?
Does the boy know anyone in Sérène?
Other than fellow Nords, you mean? I don't think so, but it's difficult to be sure.
Qui sont ses amis proches?
Miss Jonas. Does he have any close friends amongst the crew?
In tradition, we are all members of the same family. But yes, there would be Flavia and Laura.
Might I have a word with them?
As you wish, you'll find them over there, in port.
Ok,
Be
super.
back soon, Captain.
J'ai bien fait de revenir lui parler. Voyons voir. Là-bas. Là-bas, on a également une interaction. Parler à Loro.
Good day, sailor. I've been told that you know the missing cabin boy well. Is that right?
You talking about Jonas? You bet your stars I know him. But like I've been crying to the 9 death winds, he didn't go missing, he was taken.
À propos du mousse.
Were you a witness to the event?
Yes, I was. Even though I'd had a few tumblers in the belly, I hadn't yet lost my head. The other day, in the tavern, I saw him talking to a well-dressed man, surrounded by some other sly ruffians. And then when we left, him and I, Flavia left a little earlier, you understand. Well, those brutes were there, waiting for him. They just up and took him like that. Grabbed his arms and poof. Gone. Vanished.
Why didn't you intervene?
I tried to, believe me. But my legs betrayed me. Wavering they were. And I fell into the gutter.
Did you report this to the captain?
Unfortunately not. I know all too well what weight my words carry. Even Flavia treated me like a drunken fool. And the captain? No, not telling him that. I still have some pride left, you get me?
On va lui demander ce qu'il en était au niveau de l'état d'esprit du mousse.
Did Jonas seem troubled to you the night he disappeared?
Maybe. For sure he wasn't his usual self.
Do you know what was on his mind?
No. No idea.
Et au niveau des ravisseurs.
Why would anyone want to snatch a mere cabin boy?
How would I know? Jonas is a gentle boy who keeps his head down. You think my story is nothing but mist too, don't you?
It's just that I can't imagine a gang of thugs hoping to get a ransom for a cabin boy. Did anyone else see the kidnapping?
There was still a small crowd in the tavern. But outside, I seem to recall that regular being there. We play cards with him from time to time. Kind of fellow who plays from morning to night time to be that skilled. But now and again he comes out. When nature calls, you know. I kind of remember his face being there.
Et le capitaine Vasco, qu'est-ce que tu peux m'en dire?
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a just man who knows his knots. He's well appreciated by the crew. It's a pity that he hasn't much heart for laughs now and again. Always seems unhappy, our captain.
Ok.
Thank you, Lauro. I need to be going.
Est-ce que je peux parler à Flavia, là? Où est-ce qu'elle est? Alors, par ici. Ah, voici Flavia.
Good day. Someone told me that you were a friend of Jonas, the young cabin boy who has gone missing.
Ah, ils sont
That's
tous
right,
tatoués
yeah.
au niveau du visage, c'est fou ça.
Are you looking for him?
Yes. Your captain asked me to go and find him.
Happy to hear he's taken the disappearance seriously. What can I do for you?
Quand est-ce que tu l'as vu pour la dernière fois?
When did you last see him?
2 days ago, in the evening. We went to have a drink in the tavern. Jonas, Lauro and myself.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary? Was he troubled?
Maybe a tad troubled. Like he was somewhere else.
Why would that be? Give me your best guess.
Boy, I haven't the faintest idea.
Au niveau de ses habitudes.
What does Jonas do in his free time, when you're on land?
He just hangs around here or there. You know the cabin boys don't have half a sailor's wages. And when evening comes, we usually go down the tavern with good old Lauro.
Did he ever have one too many?
Never. He sips his pint like it was bad medicine. One drink lasts him the whole night.
Et ses fréquentations.
Does he know anyone in Sérène?
No one, far as I know.
D'accord. Au niveau de ses ennemis, qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Do you think he could have made himself any enemies?
I wouldn't think that for a moment. Jonas has a good heart and he steers clear of trouble and troublemakers.
I don't know where to start with this. Do you have any idea?
No. Lauro won't stop telling anyone who will lend him an ear that the boy was carried off by thugs.
And you don't believe him?
I like Lauro, don't get me wrong, he's like a brother. But to be honest, he drinks a little more than he should. The itch for a drink gets us all, but to him more than others, and when you drink too much, the imagination wanders. Here, yesterday, it was me who tied one over, and I thought I heard Jonas's voice by the canal. I called back to him, as you guessed, but then nothing. Drink. It blurs the senses.
D'accord, d'accord. Parle-moi du capitaine Vasco.
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a damn good navigator, and an excellent leader of men. He knows his craft well, in spite of being so young.
How old is he?
He's not seen his 25th year yet. If he keeps it up, he'll be an admiral one day.
Ok, très
I
bien.
need to be going. Farewell.
Strange story, this is.
Something isn't right here.
Oh.
I can...
Journal d'un contrebandier.
We need
Ok,
to lift the veil
super.
on this.
Des pièces d'or et un caban de marin. Oh, pas mal ça. Voyons voir un petit peu. Au niveau des pièces d'armure. Caban de marin. Ah oui, il est bien mieux. Hop, on équipe. Eh, on a la classe ou pas? Très stylé ça. Ok, je ne pense pas qu'il y ait autre chose à faire par ici. Potion de brume. Oh, sympa ça. Alors, voyons voir ce qui se passe à la taverne. La résolution des quêtes. Dans Greedfall, une quête peut généralement se résoudre de plusieurs manières différentes. Oh! Ça, c'est vraiment pas mal. Je vais de surprise en surprise avec ce jeu. C'est vraiment très très cool.
Tavern keeper.
I see you're back.
Tavern
Can I
Keeper.
pour you something this time?
On va l'interroger au sujet de Constantin, tiens.
I'm looking for my cousin. His name is Constantine. I believe he was intent on celebrating his departure last night.
There was indeed a party here last night, but it ended badly.
Whatever do you mean?
A brawl broke out. My tavern was shattered, and no one's paid for the damages.
I'm sorry. Amongst the rebel rousers, did there happen to be a young man? 20 years of age? Hair down to his neck, light brown? Blue eyes? Quite the talker?
I don't believe it. Of course he was there. He's the man that started the fight. I hope you've come to reimburse me. Don't count on me to help you if that's not the case.
What kind of damage are we talking about exactly?
A good half of my furniture was broken into firewood. I piled up the lot over there.
Let me take a look. Perhaps it can be repaired.
If you can fix it, I'll be obliged. If not, you'll need to pay.
Oh, j'ai un peu de sous. On va lui payer les 25 pièces d'or.
Here you are. To cover your expenses.
Ça va peut-être lui délier la langue.
Honest books makes for honest friendships. Your cousin is either a very bad joker or a right good fool. He went and insulted a band of ruffians from the lower boroughs. Dangerous fellows. They've a storehouse they operate out of a few streets from here.
What kind of business do they run?
Several, actually, and they're all illegal and profitable. But you didn't hear that from me. In any case, if you were set on recovering your cousin, I would hurry if I were you. They're not the tender sorts.
Thank you for the information.
Off with ya. Get him out of whatever mess he's got himself into. Seemed like a courageous fellow. Who could down his pint. Anything else?
Concernant le mousse disparu.
I am looking for a Naut. A young cabin boy who has been missing roll call for 2 days now.
A naught, you say? That's not a lot to go on. There are quite a few that come to my tavern.
According to one of his fellows, he would have been taken right here.
A kidnapping? In my establishment? You surely jest. Or at least I hope you do. I would have noticed. That doesn't hold water.
Someone told me about one of your faithful clients. A big gambler, it would seem.
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening the pouches of sailors coming through.
Where might I find him at this time?
Here? He would never give away his chair at his table. Anything else?
Non, c'est bon, merci mon brave.
I need to be off. Farewell.
Goodbye.
Ok, voici le témoin potentiel.
Who are you? I don't recognize you. Am I in your debt?
No, have no fear about that. It's for a different reason that I'm here. I'm looking for a Naut that disappeared 2 days ago, after visiting this establishment. A young cabin boy. 2 members of his crew accompanied him.
Yes, that does ring a bell. I've played with the 3 of them.
What can you tell me about the boy? How was he that night?
He seemed rather nervous, as if he was worried about something. Didn't feel like playing, that I remember.
Intéressant.
And he must have been right to be nervous, if he's disappeared.
Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé pendant la soirée?
Tell me what happened that evening.
A rich merchant came in, with a band of strong arms. The kind of men you can round up for a
Ok,
few
on progresse, on
coins,
progresse.
if you catch my drift. They exchanged words with the cabin boy. The kid was
J'aime bien le côté enquête.
not sitting pretty.
C'est pas mal amené, hein.
And then they finally left.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breather. I needed some fresh air. And I think I might well have seen those same men grab him. But that was none of my business.
I wouldn't have thought that they were kidnapping him if that's what it was. They weren't particularly rough with him.
Ok, ok. Des précisions sur l'homme riche?
Who was the rich merchant, do you think? A jilted lover? A moneylender?
No, my lady, you're in luck. It so happens that I know the man. It was Sir Fontaine, that merchant.
Where can I find him?
He has a house in the wealthy boroughs, just off the canal, a stone's throw from the Thélème embassy.
Thank you. You've been immensely helpful.
This man is completely owned by his love for the game. Do you think we can trust him?
What would
Bien,
he
bien,
gain
bien.
from life?
Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça?
I have no idea.
7
But
pièces
what would
d'or,
any
et ben
wealthy
voilà.
merchant gain from holding a penniless child?
Voilà, voilà. Y aurait-il d'autres petites choses qui traîneraient par ici? Malheureusement, je ne crois pas. Très bien. Ok, là il y a un truc que je peux fouiller. Ok, superbe. Attention Kurt. Au bûcher. Alors, ensuite, où est-ce que ça se passe? Y a pas des petites choses à récupérer là, non? Non. Ouh, un beau coffre. Pièces d'or et munitions. Et je n'ai toujours pas d'arme à feu, hein. La place des princes. Toi, t'es qui? Une ouvrière, d'accord. Et toi, tu fais quoi? Citoyenne de Thélème. Ok. Alors, voici l'endroit que je cherche.
Might I help you, my lady?
I would like to have a word with Sir Fontaine.
He is absent, but the lady of the house could certainly receive you. Enter, please.
Ouais. Ouais. Très bien. Monsieur n'est pas là, mais madame est à la maison. Maison de la famille Fontaine. Bonjour, madame Fontaine.
Oh, I know you. I've seen you at court. You are Lady De Sardet. And to what do I owe the honor of your visit, Excellency?
I would like to have a word with your husband.
He is not here, but perhaps I could be of help.
It concerns a delicate matter. We are looking for a missing cabin boy. According to witnesses, he had an argument with your husband before being taken.
I see. I am afraid that you have been misled. You seem to have come to the wrong conclusion. The cabin boy you speak of was not taken. He has simply returned home.
Excuse me, but I'm not sure I understand.
Don't you see, Your Excellency? We got our son back.
Oh, d'accord. On va quand même lui parler de l'altercation à la taverne.
I am very surprised. Several witnesses confirmed that your son had a fight with your husband, and that his men escorted him from the tavern using force. If he had joined your husband willingly...
Witnesses? In a tavern? And you choose to believe these drunkards over a respectable family?
These witnesses are all in agreement, and it is their testimonies that have led me to your doorstep.
My son was probably shocked to have found us. My husband and the other men might have simply had to carry him. A gesture that your drunkards must have misunderstood.
Ça reste un petit peu louche ton histoire là. Lui demander pourquoi les nautes auraient pris son fils.
What was your son doing on a Naut ship? Why would they have taken him?
It is what they do. Through pacts and contracts, they steal away young children from their mothers.
What are you talking about?
I would have thought that a legate would know these things. But it is true that you are young and inexperienced. It seems that you have been protected from the turpitudes of our own nation and their terrible allies. This horrible, constant ransoming that they put us through. But I will not say another word. You will have no trouble verifying the details now that you know what to look for.
Where might I find your son now?
I cannot say, Excellency. You must understand why. Until the Naughts have set sail, we live in fear they will take him back from us.
This pact. It sounds
Aïe,
like
aïe,
some
aïe, 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 aïe,
fear-inducing
aïe.
story.
The Naughts wouldn't be the first to recruit through dubious means.
Bien. L'intrigue s'épaissit, là. Bon, y a rien à voler dans le coin, là, non? Pas des petites pièces d'or posées nonchalamment sur une table, non? On n'a rien. Ok, très bien. Sortons d'ici et nous allons poursuivre la quête de ce côté-là. Ou pas. Oh! Qu'est-ce qu'on a ici? Un petit coffre. Potion de résistance, préparation alchimique de dégâts élémentaires, encore de la munition. Vieux pourpoint brodé, vieille botte souple. Alors, jetons un petit coup d'œil sur le nouvel équipement. Les bottes. Bottes confortables, ouais. Bon, on va rester comme ceci, hein. Alors, où est-ce que je dois aller? Ok, j'ai l'impression d'être sur la bonne voie. Oh, j'aime beaucoup l'ambiance qui se dégage de ce jeu, hein. Ah!
Good day, my lady. How might I be of service?
You can start by explaining to me why you refuse to honor the orders agreed upon with the guard.
There's been a misunderstanding, madam. Of course we're ready to honor the orders. In fact, I've already had a word with your master-at-arms.
They're asking that we pay again, despite having already paid.
It's just that the price has gone up since. I've nothing to do with it.
This is inadmissible. If you agree on a sum, you need to honor that agreement.
I'm sorry, madam. I'm just an agent, and I'm only obeying orders.
On va lui parler des autres marchands.
Why don't we go and solicit other suppliers, Kurt?
When we've already paid for the merchandise? If these thieves agreed to reimburse the original payment, it's what we do immediately. And do know, in the future, we won't be shopping with them. Well, I should think not.
Your master has apparently asked you to demand a second payment for this merchandise.
That's right. He told me that their attendant seemed to be hiding something when he passed the order. And so he must have thought the guard would end up paying in the end, whatever he asked for.
I'll be damned. And I'm the one they've sent to settle the affair.
Sorry, Captain, it's nothing personal. I'm only following orders.
Following orders? Yeah, we hear you. Makes one wonder which one of the two of us is a coin guard.
This whole story sounds suspicious and stinks of a scandal. You were demanding a second payment, but refused to reimburse the one that was already made.
I'm not the one demanding nor refusing. It's my master.
This stubborn fool is pushing me to madness. You understand now why I'm asking for your help?
On pourrait le menacer grâce à notre excellent charisme.
I don't think you understand who you were dealing with. Perhaps I failed to present myself properly. Lady De Sardet, niece of the Prince d'Orsay and legate of the Congregation of
Ah, ça
Merchants.
envoie du lourd, là.
During our conversation, you explained to me that your master forced you to commit a crime. That's regrettable, especially as you will be considered his accomplice in extortion and theft. You know as well as I that the congregation does not tolerate such illegal activities.
But I'm only obeying orders.
That's a shame. Well, as orders are the only language you seem to understand, I order you to return the guard the merchandise without delay, unless you'd rather your master is hung and that you finish your days in prison.
C'est bien parlé, ça.
But you are not my master.
Oh non, j'ai loupé.
Moreover, the attendant
Sérieux?
of the guard was quite specific, saying this affair should be handled with extreme discretion. So I seriously doubt that you'll be wanting to drag us in front of a judge. That would stir up the muck.
Ah, le fumier.
What is he talking about, Kurt?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Proposer un pot de vin, non. On va le menacer, hein.
This is preposterous. Your master is a thief. And I have no patience for bandits and robbers. Either you give us back what's ours, or we'll take it.
Your idea of diplomacy isn't all that different from my own.
To the devil with ya.
Since you leave us no choice.
The merchant's clerk isn't hearing your arguments. The only thing left is a show of strength. Sorry, Greenblood. If I'd have known, I wouldn't have gotten you mixed up in this.
Enfin, là, du coup, on a bifurqué sur une autre quête. Les marchandises du denier, ouais, c'était ça. Mais on va continuer sur la disparition chez les nôtres. Hein. Allez. On continue d'avancer. Où est-ce que je dois aller, là? Par ici, peut-être. Oh, du loot! Du loot, du loot! Pièces d'or, munitions, très bien. Quartier du port. Ok, on va devoir reparler au capitaine.
Madam, you still haven't found your cousin. As you well know, we
Ouais, je m'en occuperai après, t'inquiète.
Have no fear. I will bring him back in time to make our scheduled departure. Is everything ready?
I'm still without news of my cabin boy. But we will have to.
Bah, il me répète la même chose, c'est quoi ce délire? Ah, on va pouvoir l'interroger sur ce qu'a dit Madame Fontaine.
I spoke with a woman who told me she was the mother of the cabin boy. She claims that her son was taken from her.
Taken? Her son is sea-gifted. His parents were required to give him up to honor the terms of a contract.
A contract? But what kind of contract are we speaking of?
A commercial contract. In exchange for services rendered by the Nords, some families cede more than gold. In some cases, nations even trade some of their subjects before they're born. I wouldn't be able to tell you the condition of Jonas's contract. I didn't even know he was originally from Sérène. But what I can tell you is the young man hasn't seen his parents since he was a small child. And ever since, he's been a Nord. Our ships are his home. We are his only family.
D'accord, d'accord, ok.
Be back soon, Captain.
You see anyone else who might be able to help us? Anyone who's not a Norse?
Bien, bien, bien.
Is a veritable well of scientific knowledge. He could tell us a little more.
Monsieur de Coursillon. Oh, du loot. Antidote, munitions, résine de pain. D'accord, très bien. Où est-ce que je dois aller, moi? Ah, ici. Monsieur de Coursillon. En plus, il me fait des signes. Sympa.
I still don't see Constantine at your side. I hope he hasn't been the victim of any foul play.
Don't worry. We'll find him in time for departure.
I certainly hope so. Would you be in need of my help in any way?
Ah, on va lui parler de ça.
I've had a word with Lady Fontaine. You must know her. That rich family that lives near the docks. She told me a strange story about her son who was a cabin boy on our ship. She said that he was taken when he was a child, due to some contract with the Nords.
Who was a cabin boy? Do you mean he's no
On joue
longer
vraiment les
They
détectives
took him
privés, là. Hein.
back to bring him home.
Well, that is very unpleasant news, De Sardet. We need to do all we can to bring the boy back to his ship. Since time immemorial, there's always been a certain price to pay for the services of the Nauts. Children born on their ships belong to them. It's the rule of the sea. But certain contracts are so important that they also require children to be offered in exchange. From time to time, the congregation has passed such accord, and certain noble families had to give their children up.
Are you telling me that the Fontaines lost their son in an agreement signed between my uncle and the Nauts?
No. That pact ended a long time ago. This cabin boy couldn't have been a part of that contract. But Sir Fontaine has made a fortune trading with the Alliance, via ships.
Do you mean he would have offered up his own son in exchange for wealth?
Well, he probably did it before the birth of the child, and regretted it afterwards. But that is of little importance. What counts most is that you bring the boy back to the Nauts as
C'est un petit
quickly
peu
as
glauque
possible.
cette histoire là.
Breaking a contract with the seafarers has always cost us dearly. Our nation could feel it in its coffers.
I will do my best.
A father selling his own son for a few boat rides. For ugly, that is ugly.
Lady Fontaine didn't seem to have any.
Elle est pas mal
knowledge of
cette
that
quête là,
detail.
j'aime bien. Ça change de ce qu'on trouve d'habitude dans ce style de jeu. Oh, moult loot. Minerai de fer brut et de l'aubépine. Et 5 pièces d'or. On est en train de se refaire hein, financièrement. Est-ce que je peux aller tout droit là? Oui. Oh oh! Oh la vache! Allez, c'est parti, attention! Allez, un petit peu de combat là, ça fait plaisir. Boum! Choc de l'ombre! Boum!
Stop! I beg of you!
He seems to have grown wiser all of a sudden.
Yes, yes! Don't hit me anymore!
Very well. I'm counting on you to deliver this merchandise as quickly as possible.
Ah ok,
Yes,
on a
my lady.
rebasculé sur
I'll
l'autre
take care of
quête.
it immediately.
D'accord, très bien, très bien. Réputation -1 par contre. Hein. Aïe aïe aïe. Vieille pèlerine en cuir. Et 4 pièces d'or. La belle affaire. Et par ici, qu'est-ce qu'on a? Oh, on peut grimper. Ça m'intéresse. Encore un petit peu de loot. 5 pièces d'or. Ouais, trop bien ça. C'est bon Kurt, tu peux descendre. J'ai tout pris. Ok, très bien. Ensuite, où est-ce que je dois aller, moi? Au niveau des quêtes. Informer l'intendant de la caserne du denier à Sérène. Ouais. Et là, je dois toujours découvrir où Jonas est retenu. Allez, on va presser le pas. Par là, est-ce que je peux passer? Non. Pardon, mesdames. Laissez-moi passer. Ah. On a trouvé notre objectif. Oh, il y a du loot cette fois-ci. Note à l'attention de la servante.
This document mentions another property.
Et la servante là.
Might I help you, my lady?
I need to be going.
Ouais,
Farewell.
on peut rien lui demander de plus à celle-ci. C'est bien dommage. Bah, je devais revenir ici ou pas?
Excuse me, madam, but I haven't quite finished my inquiries yet.
If you would be so courteous, I would like you to leave. I have told you all that I have to say.
With respect, my lady.
D'accord, d'accord. On l'agresse et après on lui dit mes hommages, madame. Désolé. On se casse. Bizarre tout ça, bizarre. On a de nouveaux objectifs qui sont apparus, très bien. Pardon. Là, on avait un point d'exclamation. Assez furtif, mais je l'ai vu. Est-ce que je dois lui parler à lui, là? Non, d'accord, ok. Ok, ok. Oh, 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 attention! Petit combat, là! Petit combat improvisé, attention. Oh, lui, il a un flingue. Petit fumier, là. Boum, choc de l'ombre. Oh la vache. Attention à moi. Ok, un de mort. Allez, petite potion, là. Eh, c'est chaud, hein? C'est bon, je l'ai eu. Avec l'aide de Kurt, bien évidemment. Heureusement qu'il était là, parce que sinon... je serais peut-être mort. Continuons d'avancer par ici. Ah. On se rapproche. Eh, bonjour.
Lady De Sardet, I presume. It is an honor to make your acquaintance. Captain, you set sail soon. Have you seen to our little business?
Yes. We were finally able to recover your merchandise.
Excellent news. I'm afraid, though, that your mission isn't completely finished, Kurt.
Blast me, I'm a captain, not an errand boy.
The commander was quite explicit.
Very well. What do I need to do?
The merchandise that you obtained needs to be sent to Teer Fradae as soon as possible. But the Port Authority formalities for shipping take an eternity to wade through. And we've already lost quite a bit of time with this dishonest merchant.
Are you blatantly asking us to smuggle this merchandise and contraband?
I would never ask you to do such a thing, Your Excellency.
Ah, but you don't mind asking that of Kurt?
Well, now, if he finds an alternative solution that is less, illegal, that would be fine. The method matters not. But this cargo must reach the Isle on the next ship.
Marvelous.
Well then, I await your return with utmost impatience. I'm certain you shall do what's required.
Ok, c'est à nous de faire le taf, quoi. Oh là là. On peut pas passer, là, non. Ici, par contre, c'est ouvert. Je peux pas prendre un flingue, là? Oh là là, dommage. Y a pas de loot. Ok. Bon. Bon.
It's blocked.
C'est bloqué. Dommage. Sortons d'ici.
Here we are. Be careful. Fontaine won't be alone. He'll have his henchmen with him.
Let's just try to remain discreet.
Ouais. On va rester discret, mais avec de la magie. Prêt à combattre. Y a pas de loot? On part ici, on n'a rien. Allez, on redescend. Ok, c'est vers le bas que ça se passe. Oh! Qu'est-ce que j'ai fait?
Lady De Sardet, what are you doing here?
I have come looking for your son. The Naughts are worried about his disappearance.
Those Naughts took him from us, but now we've got him back, and he'll be staying with us.
Would you be so kind as to hear what I have to say, Sir Fontaine?
Est-ce qu'on tente de le raisonner avec notre fabuleux charisme qui ne fonctionne pas?
You've taken your son against his will and have locked him up like merchandise in a warehouse.
Allez, je croise les doigts.
Being a good father?
As if you would know what it is like to be
Ah,
a
encore
parent.
raté.
You are far too young to understand the way we feel.
Mais c'est pas possible.
I looked into the contract that binds you to the Naughts. It was indeed you who ceded your son to them in exchange for help with your business with the bridge.
It is so. But that sort of contract is ignoble. I never would have signed it if I had known.
You should have thought of that before.
Ah ouais, mais tu l'as signé, mec.
Breaking the contract could have regrettable consequences for the congregation.
The prince will know how to negotiate with the Naughts. If they take my son back, my wife will die of sadness.
Her sadness would be all the more terrible if she learned of your role in this story. Don't you think?
You wouldn't dare tell her. I beg you.
You were not leaving me with a choice.
Very well. Take the key and
Oh, réputation +2. C'est bon.
Cursed be the day I delivered my son unto the Naughts.
All children leave the nest one day or another, sir. Farewell.
On a réussi quand même. Yes. Stylé. Alors, est-ce qu'on peut fouiller dans le coin, là? Comment je sors d'ici, moi? Peut-être par là. Non. Ok, ok. Trouver un moyen de libérer Jonas. Bon. Visiblement, je ne me suis pas engagé dans la bonne direction. Utilisez la clé. Ah, Jonas, enfin.
Who are you?
My name is De Sardet. I'm legate of the congregation. Your captain has sent me to find you.
And were you able to convince my father to allow me to go free?
Yes, even if I had to bend his arm a little.
That doesn't surprise me. He seemed to have no intention of changing his mind. I feel more sorry for my mother. She seems so sweet and happy to see me.
You don't seem to be all that close to your parents.
I hadn't seen them since I was 5 years old. I barely remember them. They find me, capture me, and lock me up in this warehouse. Hard to grow close after all that. My family is the Naughts. I am sorry for my parents, but that is the way of it now. Can I go home?
Yes. You should still go and say farewell to your mother. Then find your way to your ship. I will see you there.
Ok, mission réussie. Très très bien tout ça. On avance, on avance. Oh, détruire. Science niveau 1.
It's not possible just now.
Ah, je n'ai pas les capacités. Dommage, il y avait un truc à découvrir là. Qu'y avait-il ici? Oh, du loot. Ah, crochetage, niveau 1. Ah, je ne peux pas. Décidément. Sortons d'ici. Je ne sais plus. Je suis complètement perdu. Messieurs. Belle journée. Allez, on sort de là. On va retourner voir le capitaine Vasco. Mais ça, on le fera dans la prochaine vidéo. Merci de m'avoir suivi. Et à la prochaine. Allez, ciao!
Any idea who I am? Open up, imbeciles! I have a ship to catch!
That vulture of a tavern master was right. It is Constantine's voice. It's coming from the floor above.
Sounds as if he's locked up.
And I have a feeling they're expecting company. Be careful. The slightest itchy word to these brutes will have them drawing blades to scratch it.
Negotiation may be the solution. As you say, this breed of brutes won't spit on ransom money.
What a waste. I'd rather sneak around them than give half a coin to these seedy fellows.